long week. Well, Fisayo also in with us. Good morning to you, Fisayo.
Good morning, Victor. Good morning, Rotus. Good morning, everyone listening and watching us.
Well, good to be with both of you. Now, you listening can be part of the show, sending in messages to us on WhatsApp 009-444-0981 or send tweets to us at Smooth981FM. We're streaming live on YouTube. It's youtube.com/Smooth981FM Lagos. Today, we talk about Flutterwave. A lot is happening. We'll also be talking about Elon Musk. He's always in the news every week, isn't he, Rotus?
He is.
Rotus is always putting him in the news.
No, he always is, even without Rotus bringing him here to Business Express.
Leave him. It's me putting him in the news. I'm the one putting Musk in the news. Can you try?
Well, where do we begin?
Well, we have to start with Flutterwave and this this allegation of money laundering. A Kenya High Court, I think they seized about 7 billion shillings, which amounts to, I think, almost about $60 million of money that they have claimed is used for money laundering. And it's not just Flutterwave, I need to point that out. They seized money from a number of fintechs, which they claim were bringing in some dollars, pounds, euros, shillings into different accounts and claiming that, or rather accusing them of using them for money laundering. And so it's just, let me see now, it's Flutterwave, a company called Box Trip Travel and Tours Limited, Bag Trip Travel Limited, Avila Vats Fintech Limited, Adguru Technology Limited, and then a couple other companies. And then there's somebody named Simon Ngige. I mean, that's just an individual. So Flutterwave responded saying that, look, we process a lot of transactions for a number of companies. We collect fees on them, and all this money is accounted for. And they said that they will, they say call it a smear campaign. So the company has denied it, and they said that they have the receipts to back up all the money that has flowed into their accounts. So that's what we have. Fisayo, what do you make of that? This story?
I mean, I think that when you're big, this is something you cannot escape. Similar to Elon Musk, right? If you're the world's richest person, right, everything you do will be in the news. So I guess it's the price for building, a $3 billion company, right? Everything you do will be under scrutiny, and I think that's what is happening here. So, but again, to a large extent, right? I wouldn't. So Flutterwave was in the news a couple of months ago about, some story around fraud, shareholders, all of those kind of things. So again, if you intend to build a big company, you have to ensure that you cross your T's and dot all your I's and ensure that you do everything in a prim and proper way. Because that story had leaked initially, right? It is easier for people to believe that, okay, Flutterwave might be involved in some form of money laundering or another, because again, if they could have done, or if they could have been accused of doing something and some of their ex-employees, corroborated some of these stories then, right? So who says that they can't, facilitate money laundering today, right? So that's the doubt that has been sown in the hearts of many people, right? So I think that's the problem. But again, Flutterwave has to ensure. I mean, again, I saw the press statement press release that they made. Yeah, it was hand waving, but again, I know that they have to ensure that they, to a large extent, prove that they have done nothing wrong, not just to the court, but also to the public, right? Because you can't allow accusations like this. Okay, so this is now not an accusation of a certain journalist, David Denny, is saying that you did this. This is a court, a competent court, freezing your account, saying that yes, you might not be culpable in money laundering. That's a bigger issue, right? Not a journalist saying that you did. This is a court saying that after looked at the evidence, this looks like money laundering to me. So it means that you have to go extra, bend above and beyond to ensure that you prove that you're not part of any money laundering scheme, and you're not supporting. You're not involved directly or remotely in any of those money laundering schemes. So it is up for them to prove that they are not part of that scheme, and I think that it's what they have to do. So rather than try to to buy media or try to get people to start talking positively about you, bring out the receipts, bring out the evidence, and ensure that you do something to ensure that, yes, your name is cleared. You're a $3 billion company. You shouldn't be named around this kind of things at all. So you have to ensure that you do everything within your power to prove that you're not part of any scheme or money laundering scheme at all. And I think that's the work in front of them.
Don't you also think that the Kenyan authorities are also trying to get Flutterwave to register properly, because there's also a report that they are not operating legally in the country under the authorization of the Central Bank of Kenya. And so it looks like all the business they're doing in Kenya is shady and illegal. So with this, they might now have to follow the due process, register and operate operationally normally in Kenya.
I'm not sure. I think they're probably registered there. Maybe maybe there's some new licenses they have to take, because I remember there was some story around, they have ex-employee, I think what's her name? It's now found out another company has suggested that they worked, someone, I don't know, but anything they have to do, they have to ensure that they are legally compliant, from a registration point of view, across all the multiple African countries in which they are operating, and of course, the UK and the US, right? Across all the countries that jurisdiction they are operating in, they have to be legally and compliant in those locations. And of course, they have to ensure that they obey the laws of the land, at least as they understand it. And, anything they do, they ensure that, that is done in a prim and proper way. No shady dealings, what's it called? No hand waving, essentially. You have to ensure that everything is done properly. And I think that's the challenge in front of Flutter right now. And of course, the challenge of growth. It's a challenge of a $3 billion company. You are worth more than many banks, right? So you have to ensure that, yes, your compliance team, the regulatory, your regulatory compliance is top notch. You can't afford, to be just operating anyhow again. And I think that's again the challenge that is in front of the CEO and of course the whole management of the team or of the company today.
Let's quickly move to Amazon. Amazon, as we know, moving into a number of African countries, Nigeria included, South Africa included. They put out job, or was it I think it was a job opening, job search for software engineers in Nigeria. And I think the software engineers have the chance to either move to Canada, Europe, North America, so on and so forth. Fisayo, do you think the e-commerce companies here in Nigeria should be worried about Amazon poaching their talent and also muscling in on their market share here?
They don't need Amazon to be worried. They've been worried before Amazon showed up, right? So the worry just expanded, that's all. I don't think it is not even specific to just e-commerce companies at all. It's to everyone, payments, wallets, just everything that you do in e-commerce, because they're looking for senior engineering talents, right? And irrespective of whether you're working, even your CTO will probably leave you if they got an Amazon job. So I think it's a worry for many Nigerian startups, especially those that have not raised or can't afford to raise money at this time, right? To be able to keep and even people that are raised, it's an opportunity for many people to relocate to countries that they feel safer in, that they feel they can work in, that they feel that they can carry their laptop without any policeman stopping them and harassing them, right? So even if you're able to pay them properly, right? Some just want a better life for themselves and their families, right? So they will take the opportunity to relocate, over the amount of money you might pay them. So again, that's the concern, for everyone operating in the tech space. And I think that, yes, it's a wake-up call for everyone. But again, like I said last week or 2 weeks ago, Amazon will quickly realize that, yes, they're now operating in a country where majority of them are rich. They're operating in countries where people live on less than $1 a day. And the challenge of that is enormous. They've not seen it yet. They've not thought about it yet. They've not seen it yet. And I think that, yes, this they will be taught, they will learn quickly, right? So let's see how it goes, in this their new venture and endeavor. Yes.
Twitter, the Wall Street Journal is reporting that Twitter has laid off 1/3 of, was it its marketing team? I think it's its marketing team.
Recruitment team.
Marketing team, yeah?
Recruitment.
Thank you. Recruitment team. Yeah. So I mean, going to freeze. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. What do you think?
I mean, so if you have a department called talent acquisition and you're not acquiring any talent, I mean, right? So exactly. So what exactly are they acquiring, right? And I think that's the argument from a Twitter perspective, right? That they're not. We don't need talent acquisition as much again, right? Because we are forcing all hirings, we are stopping all hirings, at least for now, till the economy, changes. I mean, just to think that in just barely over a year, right, where the US was growing, everything was just happening very well. Like in less than just barely over a year, the Build Back Better is leading the country to a recession. I mean, that's such a shame, right? But again, focusing on Twitter specifically, right? If you don't need to acquire talent, you don't need a team of people trying to help you, hire talent, right? So, and I think that's where the logic is. So, I mean, they'll go and look for another job, I guess, and then maybe, find something to do, in the interim. But yeah, I guess we just have to wait to see how the economy shapes up over the next couple of months and years, I guess.
And then very quickly, just a couple minutes ago, I will have to throw this in there. Since we're mentioning Twitter, a court found that a court paper found that Elon Musk fathered twins with one of his top executives. I think it was at Tesla. There's some tweets from him. I think he's responding to it. He's saying that we have to populate the world, that the world is...
Yeah.
He was very serious. He wasn't joking. He said that, look, they were facing underpopulation and we have to populate the world. Apparently, he had Elon Musk, who, by the way, was born in South Africa, so he's an African man. He has 9 known children, 9 so far that are known. What do we make of this? What do we make of this breaking news?
He has a thing for twins. Oh my goodness.
Right. I mean, I think, there's nothing to it, right? He's an advocate of bringing more babies to the world. So I think just leaving his advocacy. Right? It's pro-life. Pro-life, yes. So he's not just pro-life, he's also an advocate of, he doesn't think that giving birth to 1 or 2 children makes sense at all. And of course, as the world's richest man, you can afford to feed, to take care of all of them. Right. I think that for me, the red flag here is that I don't think that it's appropriate for the CEO of a company to be in, this kind of relationship with a subordinate again.
But it happens.
It happens, right? But it just feels that, okay, that is the point that we are not talking about. I feel that, okay, well, the executive in question is not complaining about harassment or all of that, but I can imagine your CEO, asking you out. I mean, it's not the best of looks, right? So I guess that's the bigger problem, right? Rather than counting the number of children he has had. Who cares if he wants to have 50, let him have 50. That's his problem, right? Not mine. And if he's able to take care of all of them, that is good. It's what's just my still richer than me. He has 100 of them, so that's fine, right? But the ethics around the CEO of a company asking an employee out and then having babies with them, I mean, is where I see a problem, right? Rather than a count number of children he has. But hey, I guess, once everything is done properly, I don't know how properly that can be done, but I think it's just where the problem really is. But congratulations to Elon and his family for adding 2 new babies to the world. All right. And we'll take it up from there. Thank you.
Let's look at some of the messages on our WhatsApp platform. Benga Komu says, Rotus, Elon is not my favorite person. Guy has liquidated my crypto. His antics has been unsettling the market. He goes on and says, if Amazon is going to operate here, government must ensure they have good labor practices, and there are bad news for most companies here because they tend to over-dominate the market in every sphere. And Dick Walk says, for Elon, it's the African blood in him. And this is not the first set of twins he's had, by the way. He's had some in the past. Ayodeji says, when the relationship goes south, then we shall start hearing stories of harassment, just not the best. That's his take on this. I don't know. There's a message from Zen, but we need to go. Thank you very much, Fisayo, for being a part of the show. We look forward to more conversations with you next week. Oh, my goodness. Messages still coming in, but hey, we need to go. Rotus, thank you very much. Let's keep the conversation going on Twitter at Smooth981FM, Rotan Court as well. And let's talk about Elon Musk and, his... baby making
and RM of Fisayo as well. RM
of Fisayo also. Please tag him into the conversation. Thank you very much. At 7:30, we'll bring you freshly pressed. Good morning.
Good morning. Brought to you by Accusations.